Joe Nichols.
Joe, good to see you again.
It's good to see you, man.
How you been?
I've been really good. I've been really working a lot. So
what does that mean? On the road or recording or what?
Both. So my family doesn't see me a whole lot these days. So when I'm not working on the road, I'm working in the studio. So been a little stretched, a little thin. Usually every July, August is like that. So
when you're on the road, when do you normally leave on a Thursday night type thing?
Yeah, if I'm lucky, yeah, it goes normal like that. Leave on a Thursday, 2 shows, Friday, Saturday. I'm home Sunday afternoon, usually.
Well, do you still live in Texas?
I do, yeah.
Do you bus out of Texas?
No, I fly out of Texas, out of a little airport that they all know me, so I've cut it really close. You know, the flight takes off in like 5 minutes. They're holding the door, and I'm on 2 wheels. No, I live in Texas, and it seems to work just as well as it did when I was in Nashville. You know, by the time I get through Nashville traffic, I would have spent 2 hours at an airport anyway. So.
Was that a big decision for you to leave Nashville?
Huge. Yeah, it was a huge decision. Yeah. And it was ultimately my wife's, as most things. That was in my early marriage, and that was one of the first lessons I learned, which is all the big stuff's going to come down to not really a coin flip, but it's going to be, yes, dear. She's from Texas. So when we got married, we lived in Nashville for a little over a year, and she didn't make connections with a lot of people. She found that the circles I ran in were fairly shallow folks, and not in all Nashville, but the people that I knew.
Yeah, you didn't know me yet. She'd thought different. If you'd have known me, she'd have been like, that's some depth. Yes,
that's exactly right. And you'd have been the first person I introduced her to. But she just didn't make a lot of connections with people, and at that time, I was kind of just crazy, just out of my mind in all directions, and she said, hey, look, you know, I'm moving to Texas. You just got married. I'm moving to Texas. I have nothing in common with this town. I want to go back to Texas, where Texas people are, you know, my style. And she said, essentially, you know, you can join me if you'd like.
Wow.
She was a lot nicer than that. She gets mad at me for telling it like that. But that's kind of how it went. Like, I can't stay here, and I want to keep us, you know, together. So I would really like it if you moved with me. And so I said yes. I moved down there, and I've loved it ever since, man. I don't think there's anywhere else I'd go unless I was forced to.
Can you go to the grocery store without being bothered?
Usually, bothered might be a different way to put it. You know, like stopped and said hello. You know, that doesn't bother me at all. When people say, "Hey, you're that guy," and you know, I can tell who's a country fan and who's not because. You know, you got to know country music to know who I am. You know, if you're a rock fan or something else, or you don't listen to music, you're not going to know who I am. I'm not a mainstream star or anything like that. But I can tell who the country fans are, and they're like, "Hey, man, you're the guy with the that song. You know, that's what is it? The Baby." Old Red. Is it Old Red?
Oh, no, the wrong song in you.
Oh, no.
But I get a lot of that.
They're like, where's Gwen?
Yeah, but they normally get, you know, Broken Heartsville and Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off, right? You know, so they're really cool about it there. I live in Tyler, and by now I've lived there so long that when people see me, they're just like, hey, it's good to see you, and maybe ask for a picture or whatever, but super cool.
What song do people know you most for that come up to you?
Tequila. I think I had a New York City cab driver who didn't speak like he knew anything about country music. This is probably, you know, maybe 10 or 12 years ago, even maybe 15. But he was a cab driver, and he said, I know you. I know you're from somewhere. He's like, are you in movies? I'm like, no, I'm not in movies. And he's like, you know, kind of doing the thing. He goes, you're a musician. And you sing a song that I like, and I'm like, no, it's gonna be bad. Here we go. And he says, it's got to do with tequila. And I'm like, oh no, okay, all right, we got a chance here. And he says something about tequila. Tequila makes her get naked, makes her clothes fall off. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. I have crossed into the mainstream. This guy probably doesn't listen to much country music, I would imagine, and here he is, like nailed it.
That's fun.
Yeah. Even he knew more than Blake Shelton fans knew about me.
Do people give you a lot of free tequila as a gift because that song is so big?
Yeah.
So much so that you can't possibly drink it all?
No. I sign a lot of tequila bottles, but yeah, I quit drinking tequila a long time ago. So yeah, I couldn't drink not even a drop of tequila without going sideways. Yeah.
I was asking the show because I've never had a drink of alcohol, and I was just asking them, and your song was one of the reasons. Like, does tequila affect you differently? Like, how so?
It does me, yeah.
How so?
All right, so I think it all depends on how your brain is made up. The chemistry in your brain and the sugars and how they impact you and everything, and the way they make tequila, I think, is a little different because I think they use agave. I think I'm not an expert in this, so I don't want to jump off in here and start explaining stuff. But I think there's just different sugar levels and different kind of things that are made, that make tequila. And for whatever reason, I am one of these people that tequila does something to it. Whiskey did something to me that made me feel totally at ease and ready to go.
At ease.
Yeah,
Whiskey?
absolutely. Oh,
Most
yeah.
people think they're bulletproof on whiskey.
Oh man, I was normal on whiskey. Not drinking was when I was bulletproof. But when I drank whiskey, I was like, all right, everything's cool. Everybody's cool.
So what tequila? What if the song he would sing and he thinks of himself?
Yeah.
You take your clothes off as it goes.
Yeah, and go to jail, do all kinds of other stuff.
But tequila makes you.
Tequila made me want to fight. That was my thing
Interesting.
with tequila. So I stopped drinking that pretty early on, and
That would have been a different song.
yeah, and vodka was I'm going time traveling because I'm gonna black out drunk tonight if I did vodka. So something in the sugars or something. A lot of people can correct me on that if they want to, but that's what it did to me. Tequila fight, vodka blackout, whiskey I'm fine. I can drink as much as I want to, and I'll be sitting here talking like this. And beer just makes me talk funny and gain 20 pounds. That's about it.
That happens to a lot of my friends where they go, I got to stop the beer.
Yeah.
Like the first thing they have to do is stop. I have a friend, he works for me, but I have a friend who would just drink beer every night. He was single. He would drink beer every night. And he got engaged and got married, and he got really skinny. And it was, is your wife making you work out? He said, no, she just doesn't let me drink beer every night. It was only the beer. He lost like 20 pounds.
That's awesome. I mean, that's great for many reasons. I hear a lot of those stories about dudes that get divorced and they start drinking beer every day and they never get married again. It probably had something to do with it. Yeah.
Did that song take off like a rocket ship?
It did. The first time I thought that song was a legitimate contender for being a big hit. I was dead asleep, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, and a friend of mine called me. There was a New York Top 40, the biggest radio station, I think, in the country, with the biggest audience.
Like Z100 or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a very famous morning show.
Elvis Duran?
Yeah. And they decided to make fun of this song.
Oh.
I want to tell you about this song that
Dang.
came out in country music. Oh, my God. It's got this one called Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall, and they're all laughing. And I'm like, oh, no, this is going to be humiliating. So they're like, let's play this song. This is probably this. What are they doing down there in country music? And they played about a minute and a half of it, and none of them said a word. And the next thing was the main guy said, yeah, it's not that bad. I was expecting a lot worse. I actually like that.
That's awesome.
And that was the first time I knew that people might like it if they give it a chance. And it was a pretty quick song up the chart. I think 15, 17 weeks, something like that, and it sold a ton of records. And that was back when songs could get up the chart in 15 weeks,
When I think about the lyrics of the songs that you sing, I think the most famous lyric, though, is "The devil drives a coupe de ville."
Yeah.
When you play that, does everybody sing that part of that song back the loudest?
Everybody sings that part, yeah. And everybody asked me afterwards, dude, what is your deal with coupe de villes? Because I had I'll Wait for You and Size Matters also had coupe de ville in it. But everybody, when they say, oh, man, it's my song, they either say, here's to the past, or they can kiss my, you know what, and they say, I think the devil drives a coupe de ville. They always say that.
Broken Heartsville is a jam.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Do you still feel that way about your song sometimes?
About that one, absolutely. I love playing that song every time. Usually, I'll tell you what, usually when a song is old like that and it's a hit, you go through these periods where you're really sick of playing it because you do a radio tour and you play it way more than any other song you have, and by the time it's over, you've played this song hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times in a short period of time, and you're kind of sick of it. So for a couple of years after it's been a hit and it's moved on, it's buried in the set list a little bit, you're like, all right, do I have to play this one tonight? I don't have to play this one, do I? I got a couple of songs that are like that. But this song never got old to me. It still feels like it's felt, the first time I sang it on stage, like just now people know it and they go crazy when they hear it. It's like, they're instantly in their, safe space, out in the crowd. It takes a lot of people back to their childhood too.
You know what I think about you a lot is in the spring when it hits 75 degrees.
Yeah.
I do, because I'll look at the temperature if the sun's out and it's 75. I'm like, oh, it's Joe Nichols Day. It's sunny and 75.
Yeah. I love that. I love having one that every twice a year. I'm going to have a meteorologist hit me up on Twitter and all that. Like, all right, here we go.
It's a Joe Nichols Day here.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fun. Is also like an earworm, because the title is very generic. It's just yeah. However, we're just going back and forth. However, that's a jam, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're tired of that one, but that one's good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And you would yeah.
For a lot of songs I've found over the years anyway, that some of the songs you cut that are big hits in that moment kind of date you to that moment. Is one of those songs that feels like it belonged in 2014 or whenever that was. And a funny thing is that, like, Broken Heartsville doesn't feel like it was 2003 or whatever. It feels like it's been relevant for 24 years.
Do you think that's the production on it?
Man, I think so. I think it's a mixture of, it was such a big hit that people, you could re-release it every year and it would feel like it fit in that time, in that period of time.
So even the writing, you feel like holds up.
The writing, everything holds up. Post Malone actually told me off stage at his thing, this is a true story. Post Malone said, man, I think that's one of the greatest country songs ever written. And I wish I'd written it, but that's a really good compliment. I think that's, like you said, I think the writing holds up. The production is very simple and doesn't sound dated.
Yeah, it's hard to date cool and simple.
Yeah.
Because cool and simple is always cool. It's whenever sonically things are trying, that can easily, and I'm not talking about your music, but generally speaking, that can be dated because you're doing something different, you're trying something. Yeah. But cool and simple always wins.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's freaking catchy.
Yeah, gimmicks work in the moment, but trends, fads, those things do, like you said, they do date you.
This song, C'est La Vie.
Yeah.
How you feeling about this one?
Man, I feel like it's a fun song. I don't want to get too confident on anything we put out, but I like hearing what people are saying about it. I have friends of mine that will call every now and then when we put out a song, and they'll say, hey, man, I like your new song. And, hey, it's pretty cool. I like that. I bought it, downloaded it. And then you have, songs that people feel like are going to be a big song. They're like, dude, this one's going to be, they always say #1 smash. I don't know. Apparently that's the mainstream thing to say, #1 smash. And they say, dude, this is a #1 smash. I can't believe it's going to be great. And a lot of people have done that lately. I've got a lot of the #1 smash texts. And that's awesome. I think it's a fun song. I think there's horns in there. I haven't done one of those ever. So I think Merle and Hank Jr. got away with that a little bit in the 80s. They had a little bit of a horns thing, and it's fun to get that, that on the production, but feels fun, man. I think when I get done hearing it, I want to play it again. The crowd's singing with it by the second chorus. The crowd is singing the highlights of the chorus, and that's a good sign. Like with Tequila, I knew that was going to be something because the crowd caught it instantly. They're singing it back. By the third chorus, they're singing it as loud as I am. They've learned it that fast, so those are all really good signs. I love that people respond to this, like, that's my jam. Feels good.
Are the horn players on this song, are they Prince's horn players?
Yeah, one of them is, man, I think his name's Agee. Roy Agee. Does that sound familiar?
No, but I wouldn't know anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just knew that one of the guys that had played with Prince was playing horns on the record.
Yeah,
that's
he
pretty
was
cool.
The session leader, yeah. He was awesome, man. He was funny. He was great. He had the horn guys, what's funny is I'm a musician. I even hang out sometimes with studio musicians who I view are top level musicians. And then those guys got in there, and I'm like, oh, those are actual musicians. Like, those guys are the real deal. Like, they call out, actual sheet music, and it's another level. Those guys are highly professional.
Do you record your music here?
I do, yeah.
So you come back here to record?
Yeah, unless it's something I got to fix, then I can stay in Tyler instead of, going through the whole process of getting here for a couple hours, I'll go to this local studio I like called Rosewood Studios in Tyler, Texas, which a lot of the bigger Texas music nowadays is made out of Tyler, Texas, at Rosewood. So I'll go down there and fix some vocals here and there, do something like guitars on the high notes was fixed in Texas.
How long does it take you to do a full record? Like this record, how long it take?
It takes me a good year to even get up the nerve to start one. It takes me a while to even get that place. When we start, it goes anywhere from 6 months. If you're really trying to hurry, I've heard some records and I don't like them. 6 months. But if I really take my time and nobody's pressuring me, waiting on the right songs, or I'm writing, it could take 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Because
I wouldn't even like the songs when I was done that I did 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. By the time you're done, you're so used to them. People are hearing it for the first time, and you're like, please don't pick this song as a single. I'm just so tired of playing that song. So, but I think we got several of those in this new album that I think are going to be considered later on for singles that I'm probably going to be like, man, this song's just 2 or 3 years old. I wrote it in 2025.
Do you do encores at your shows?
I do not. No.
Because just playing, just jump off.
Play everything I can. Most of the time we get a 3-hour show if we can. Yeah, I've got a lot of songs to play. There's a lot of stuff on the radio that we put out that were kind of hits. You know, I'm the king of the top 10 to 15. That's man. If they did a stat on that, I'd win an award every year. So
and the ACM for almost.
Exactly right. Yeah,
that's funny.
Out there. Yeah,
I was looking at all the dates. You're playing a lot of shows, huh?
I'm playing a lot of shows. Yeah,
you're all over the place. You guys can go to Joe's shows, joenichols.com. What do you start with? You start with a hit?
I start with something.
You give them the
big.
good stuff up front. You give them a single.
Yeah.
Get them going.
I go with big single, so people are like, and some people give me grief at the end of the show, like, you didn't play yet. I'm like, well, you didn't get here in time. So and I go into something recent with tempo. We go to Hard to Be Cool sometimes, and then I go into some really nasty Stevie Ray Vaughan Crossfire, and blend it with a song I had called Ain't No Crime, one of those king of the top 10 to top 15, like a number 12 record, go into that, and then we'll hit them with some earlier stuff, The Impossible. Listen to me rattling off the set list and acting like I don't know it every night. Yeah, my guys are going to hate this.
You still like playing guitar?
I do. I've gotten better at guitar. I love playing guitar because I never really took it seriously the first, I don't know how many decades of my career, but now I really get into it and I start playing, and people are like, yeah, you're supposed to be that good, right? I'm like, it's just nobody knew that I couldn't play 5 years ago, and here I am. I'm playing guitar and doing parts in the show. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize you weren't doing it.
Right.
But now that you're doing it, that's probably new and exciting for you.
Yeah.
To be able to like take a new skill.
Yeah.
And just every night like do that.
It's me at 17, like wanting to show my mom and dad, like, look, I can play a guitar. Look, I can do Sweet Home Alabama. Watch. Yeah. It's
How old
fun.
were you when you moved to Nashville?
I was 20 when I moved to Nashville.
Was there something that said, okay, I got to go now? Or was it when I'm 20, I'm going?
There was, at the time, I'd done this independent record for this company that had 2 people working for it. One of those guys is like the head of a major label now. It's so funny. It was this little label called Inner Sound, and I was their only country act. It was based in Atlanta, and I had an investor. And so I took a little bit of that guy's money, made a little record in one day. They made a couple of videos we put out on CMT and thought, let's throw this out there. It may work. And a song called 6 of One, Half Dozen of the Other, and Walmart Parking Lot Social Club. And it did okay for being an independent record. It got like just up like top 50. And I was living in Fort Smith, Arkansas, in like a warehouse. I mean, I was living at just wherever I could. And the shower I used was this old put-together plastic crate with a water hose. That was it was very humble beginnings. And that little bit of success made me want to move to Nashville from Arkansas and try to get a major label involved. Because I thought people showed me that I was good enough to go further. I was just limited by the resources of the small label and everything. So I moved to Nashville in 97, and got my first major label deal at 99 on Giant Records, 99, 2000, and I was signed over there when Blake Shelton was signed over there, and that's how we became friends. We were part of Giant Records, as we like to call it, the Artist Protection Program, and we sat there for a couple of years whining together about when was, Giant gonna put the saviors of Giant Records out there, and they never did. I came along when Giant was bought by Warner Brothers. I was moved along with the furniture. I was brought along with the furniture, and so was Blake. He went off to have these big hits, and Warner Brothers didn't like that I was a traditional country guy. They wanted me to be more like, Flats, or they had envisioned me being something like One Trick Pony, or kind of more rockin' country, or Trick Pony, or Rascal Flatts, something like that. And I could not have disagreed more with that. But Jim Ed Norman was the president of that label, and he did something that no other label would ever do. He gave me a check for $50,000 and said, your record contract is still here if you want it, but here's $50,000 to go find you another deal that you're happy with. And if you don't find one you're happy with, you still got your spot here. We'll just, get something. We'll get along somehow with the A&R stuff. So I thought that was a very unusual thing for a Nashville label to do, because usually they're like, well, it's this way or no way. And so I'm always grateful for Jim Ed Norman for doing that. That was in 2001, and I had 3 offers of big labels that were ready to go.
So you left?
Month or two. Yeah, I left. Yeah, I found a great label with Tim Dubois and Tony Brown. They were starting a company together. It was backed by Universal, and the first single we released in March of 2002 became a #1 in September of 2002.
What was the song?
This is The Impossible.
Really? Man, that's such a good song.
There's some controversy over that going #1. See, back then we had 2 charts. We had Billboard chart and we had R&R charts, what later became like the Country Air Check. And so you counted both of them. You didn't just count Billboard, but I guess Wikipedia only counts Billboard. So I say 6 #1s. Wikipedia says 5 #1s.
What did it go on that chart, 2?
3. It went to 3, and it's all a matter of how they counted the points and how many points we had lost in the last couple of days of the week. So that was kind of weird.
Justice for Joe.
Dude,
Justice.
I agree with you. Let's get him. But I'll tell you the funny story about the next single, Broken Heartsville, would have never been a #1 had 2 things not happened. I was #2 when the Dixie Chicks were overseas and did the whole meltdown thing when that hall went down with
Bush and
comments of Bush and all that kind of stuff. That was the week I was at #2. There was a song flying up the chart. It had been on the chart like 3 weeks, and it was already at like #5. And it was for sure going to be a #1 in the next couple of weeks. And that was a song called Have You Forgotten? So I was sandwiched in between this record-breaking song that was going to be #1 in like 4 weeks. And the Dixie Chicks were so far out in front, there was no way I could catch them organically. They were like 1,000 spins in front of me. And they started coming down, like 200 at a time, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're sweating it on Saturday and Sunday. We're like watching the chart like, oh my God, it's going to be so close. You got all 3 records are within like 100 spins of each other. And it was miraculous that Sunday at midnight, we were like 50 points in front of Have You Forgotten and just like 100 points in front of the Natalie Maines Dixie Chicks thing. So we got our #1 on Billboard.
Because the timing worked out because of what they said in Europe.
Perfect. That's
Because
exactly
people were
right.
so protesting. Because I remember being like, even the country stations in Austin, whenever that was happening, they were like pulling the songs. You couldn't turn on the radio and hear the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah, they were taking them in the parking lot and smashing their CDs and doing that whole thing. And my goodness, I mean, that was chaotic. I held my breath for an entire week. Yeah.
As you smiled, though. Like,
Yeah.
here we go. Here comes Joe.
Yeah.
Here comes Joe. We're going to play the new song, and you guys go check out Joe on the road. Just go to joenichols.com or to his Instagram. And I changed my phone number, which I told you.
Yeah.
So Joe texted my old number. Oh, he did. and I still have that number. And I check it like every couple days, and I was like, oh no, I didn't send Joe my new number. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Save this new number. Good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, man.
glad that you're here in town, and congratulations on the new music. And you guys go watch Joe live. Great performer. And now he plays solos.
Yeah,
now they can respect the Joe Nichols solo.
Yeah. I mean, they're not good solos, but it's still me.
It's still a solo. There he is. The great Joe Nichols.
It's a